Okay, as a home assignment, I am going to ask you to design an inverter based VCO. Okay, what is VCO? Is a voltage controlled oscillator. Okay, now first of all, what is an oscillator? Oscillator is something which you just give the power supply, it should give me some output pulses. Okay, so if you see, if I have a chain of inverters like this and I give a feedback, okay, so if I have an even number of inverters, now suppose I give a 1 out here, it will transmit a 0 here, this 0 will come as a 1 here, this 1 will come as a 0, again 0 to 1, 1 will become 0, and that 0 is going to come here and change this 1 to 0 again, so this will become 1 here. Now if you see here, there will be certain propagation delay here, and based on that propagation delay, you will find this is this works like a ring oscillator. The one the output, if you take it from any stage, if you take it will continuously change from 0 to 1. Is this aspect clear to all of you? Okay, how will you get an oscillation? Okay, it is important that we use only the odd number of inverters. If I just use a 2 inverter and put back to back, if I give 0 here, it will give 1 here, it will give again 0 here, and if I give a feedback, that 0 will continue to remain 0, so there will be no output. Okay, so I have to give an odd number of inverters. Okay, and since I give a 0 here, that by the time that 0 comes to 1 here, 0 here, 1 here, 0 here, 1 here, it will continue to remain 0 because there is going to be some time required, propagation delay, and this 1 will come after a few nanoseconds or few picoseconds, and once that 1 comes here, again it will trigger a reaction in this particular chain. So that's how it will continuously keep oscillating. Once you give the power supply, it will continuously give me the output like that. Okay, now the second aspect of this is, it is known as voltage controlled oscillator. That means if I control if I have an input control voltage, based on the magnitude of the input voltage given, I should have different frequency. Okay, now to change this frequency, what if I change the current carrying capacity of this inverter somehow? If I change the current carrying capacity, suppose the max current which is given by each of these inverters, if I decrease the max current, what happens to the frequency? Any one of you? Sachidhar, any idea? If I decrease the current carrying capacity, will the frequency increase or it will decrease? Anybody? Yeah, Rahul, Geetika, anybody? If I decrease the current carrying capacity, okay, if I decrease the current carrying capacity, okay, then it will the propagation delay will increase, right? It will take that much more time for the output to go high because now the current is less. Okay, so that means the time period will increase and hence the frequency will decrease. So if you increase the current in these inverters, okay, if you try to increase the current capacity of these inverters, then outputs will get charged faster or it will get discharged faster. In that case, this frequency will increase. So increase of current will increase the frequency, decrease of current will decrease the frequency, and you can have an voltage control through which you can increase this currents and decrease the frequency. So I'll just give you a hint how to go about designing that. You need to try the circuit of your own. In fact, you have to try all the circuits of your own. Since these are 5 inverters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are connected back, the output is connected as input here, output connected to input here like this, and the output of the 5th inverter is again connected back here. Now instead of giving VDD and ground to all these inverters, okay, an NMOS has been connected and in all these here, okay, and then it is grounded here. Okay, it is grounded through an NMOS, and you are controlling the bias voltage of this NMOS, so that the current in this inverter, okay, gets restricted because of this bias voltage. Okay, now once you give the voltage, if you don't give full voltage here, the current gets restricted. Okay, that is how you can change the currents in these inverters. Now if you see on the PMOS side, this is connected to a diode connected PMOS here, and again all the PMOS are connected. So whatever current flows in this NMOS, the same thing flows through this PMOS. Okay, and since all, if you see, all the gates are interconnected, the same current will try to flow in all these circuits. So once you change this voltage here, the currents in all the stages will change accordingly. Okay, by the same amount. Oh, so this is how we can do this. So if you run a simulation, and if you plot the output, so you see this pulses out here, right? So this is the kind of output you will get. Now this voltage, I have used it as 1 volt. Now if I increase this to 1.8 volt or something, and if I run that, you will find the frequency has now increased. Okay, now if I change this to 0.6 or something, then if I run, okay, this not switching on this transistor at all. So let me put it as 0.8. If I run, so this is a low frequency signal, right? It's pretty low out here now. So this is how I get an VCO functioning. Obviously, you will find this is not a square wave. So in case you require an square wave, so I can put one inverter ahead of this to do the wave shaping. So if I plot the signal out here, so you will find, okay, this is still much better. It's looking more or less like a square wave. Now if you want to further wave shape it, again you put one more inverter here. So if I plot that, you will find this red one. Okay, that is looking more like a square wave. Now if I want to, I can keep increasing the number of stages. Now if you see here, the last one, yeah, if you see the last, this green one, this was the initial, then the last one is more or less like a perfect square wave. So that is how you can create an VCO for the desired frequency, right, by changing. So this is how an VCO design looks like. Okay, so you can try out these things. You can experiment by changing the value width of these transistors, or adding few capacitances at each of these nodes, small capacitances, to decrease the frequency, right? If you want to, this is giving in some gigahertz. This is because 0.5 nanosecond only is the, but if you want a megahertz and a range signal, then what can you do? Either you can keep increasing the number of transistors, or probably you can just add small capacitances here. So all those kind of experiments you can try it out yourself, and in case there is any doubt, then you can revert back to me. Okay, for all these circuits, remember, for each of the schematic you need to write this include TSMC thing. Okay, otherwise it will throw up an error. And here also do remember, like we discussed in the last class, all the PMOS should be connected to VDD. Okay, and the body. Okay, here if you see all the body, and all the body of the NMOS should be connected to ground here. So I have one NMOS above here, but the body is connected to ground. So you need to take care of these small things during simulation. Okay, so thanks a lot.